Shalom, 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 Israel. All praise to the Most High. Happy Sabbath. Happy Sabbath. We're going to get into this Jacob versus Esau, right? Self-defense. Let's talk about it, right? Let's talk about it. Is little bro guilty, or was it self-defense? Well, that shit kind of sour, boy. Just over there. Oh, yeah. So what's going on with y'all, man? What's going on? Let me text this sister. Shalom, sis. All praise to the Most High. Do your thing. Do your thing, sis. But yeah, shalom. Shalom, Danielle. Good to see you. Hold on. How was y'all week? Hopefully everybody's week was good. Shout out to the family. Oh, you said it's been a hell of a week, sis? It's been a hell of a week, huh? But you made it through. You made it through. You made it through. You know how it is. I already know how it is. You know, actually, you've been had a couple of days off, so you know, I just been cooling. But yeah, man, we're gonna get into this. What's his name? Carmelo Anthony. When you talking about the hoop, the basketball player, right? And the little Edomite boy, what's his name? I think his name Metcalf, Austin Metcalf or something like that. But we're gonna dive into. I'm gonna start from the beginning. We're gonna go to the book of Genesis to the root. Let me get to the root of it, because always, you know, white versus black, as we know, Jacob versus Esau. You know, shalom, Queen Glam, shalom. So, yeah, y'all should be familiar with this story. You know, I've been seeing it, I've been checking it out. You know, as future judges of the earth, as we are, you know, we the saints. It says the saints gonna judge the world. You know, we're gonna get a I ain't really heard the Carmelo side. You know, they ain't said nothing, so we're just gonna go with what we got. So let me share my screen, and then we're gonna watch. We're gonna get into what they talking about. Let me see where I want to start. Let me see. I want this story first. Okay, I'm gonna start from right here. Watch this, y'all.
I pushed my hand on there, trying to make it stop, and I grabbed his head and I looked in his eyes. I just saw his soul leave, and it took my soul too.
I'm so sorry. Hunter Metcalf
Hold on. No,
described his twin brother Austin's final moments as he lay dying in.
This is his brother. This is the dude's brother. He's going to you see the Edomites all crying and stuff. You know, crocodile tears, trying to spin it. You know, so he gonna say how he
in his brother's arms. On Wednesday, Memorial High School junior Austin Metcalf was stabbed to death while attending a UIL District 11-5A track meet in Frisco, and many questions remain unanswered. Police say 17-year-old Carmelo Anthony, who attends Centennial High School, stabbed Metcalf in the chest in the stands. Metcalf's father believes the fight started over a seating dispute.
I pray that, maybe there's changes made as far as security or things like that, and maybe we can learn from this and try to turn a tragedy into something positive to make sure it doesn't happen to anyone else's child. I don't want parents to feel like I feel today.
Shortly after the deadly encounter, a district spokesperson said that the stadium was immediately secured and students were released and sent back to their home campus on Frisco ISD buses.
Crime doesn't discriminate.
Oh, let's get a different one. Let me see what this one say. I want the initial.
WFAA has obtained new court documents revealing how Austin Metcalf was stabbed to death at a track meet in Frisco. Police say another teenager had fresh blood on his finger when they found him at Kirkendall Stadium.
The affidavit shows that when officers arrived, Carmelo Anthony told them he got into an argument with Metcalf, and when the arresting officer said he had the alleged suspect in custody, Anthony replied, "I'm not alleged, I did it."
But Anthony told officers he only acted in self-defense and asked them if Metcalf was okay.
Several witnesses paint a different picture, and Metcalf's father told Matt Howerton he is not buying the excuse.
I had a dream last night, and Austin came to me and said, "I'm okay."
You didn't have no damn dream. He saw lying. You didn't have no damn dream. He didn't have no damn dream. But look, so let me read the chat. Shalom, H or YHDH. Heard they started it. Yeah. He tried to Rosa Park him out of his seat. Exactly. So, Edomite, he got jugged, right? But yeah, so you can see his family crying and all this stuff, but they're not even telling you, how it all started. Like you said, Shalom craving wisdom. They're skipping over the parts. They're trying to get their narrative out first, So, it's the same old spiel with these Edomites. But let me see the chat. It don't look. We don't have self-defense when it comes to us. There's no self-defense when it comes to us. What she say? Hold on. She said they jumped him. The twins said they do everything together. Exactly. But like they say, and we don't have no self-defense when it comes to us, right? They created this system to give the illusion of inclusion. And it's time for our people to wake up. Like if you go to the matter of fact, I should have went to the comments on some of them videos. The Edomites is crazy, like they want the death penalty for oh boy. Watch this. Hold on, I'm gonna share my screen because I got this other article. Like they want the damn death penalty for a 17-year-old no record. Look at this. But they can't seek the death penalty. Look, teen accused of track meet stabbing won't face death penalty if convicted, DA says. That's crazy that they even got to say this, because if you go to these comments, bro, these Edomites, they want to do you like an old school lynching, like how they would just bust in the jail, like how they would just bust in the jail cell and take them out and hang them, right? That's how they used to do us, right? That's what they really want to do. That's why you got to understand, the white man of yesterday, the white man of today is the same as yesterday. They ain't changed. So look, Carmelo Anthony is 17, is charged with first-degree murder for allegedly killing Austin Metcalf during an altercation at an April 2nd track meet, police said. So look, they got our bro looking all, they got this little jail picture, and they got him trying to look innocent. The Texas teen charged with murder for allegedly fatally stabbing a 17-year-old student in the bleachers at a high school track meet will not face the death penalty if he's convicted, according to the Collin County District Attorney. That shouldn't even been a discussion. He's 17-year-old, no record. He asked if the Edomite boy was okay. They make it seem like it's a heinous, just right out straight, hate crime. Like he just went. That's how they want it. Like it says, no self-defense when it come to us. Carmelo Anthony at 17 was accused of stabbing an 11th grader Austin Metcalf at some Kendo Stadium in Frisco on April 2nd during a track and field championship for multiple schools. He is charged with first-degree murder. Let me skip through this. Let me go to the Supreme Court has said not only can you not seek the death penalty against someone who committed a crime when they are 17, you can't even get them life without parole, Willett said, referring to the Supreme Court's ruling on the 2005 Roper versus Simmons case. So the fact this is letting you know these Edomites, they will kill your kids if they could. Look, that would not be something we could do even if we wanted to. See, they want to kill you. They want to off your kids. You feel me? They want to off your kids. They want to off your kids. 17-year-old, no discussion, no mercy, no grace. Hey, where's all that grace and mercy and Jew nor Greek, and we're all free under God and God loves everybody? Where's all that stuff? That stuff is out. I bet you all them guys is white Christians, right? It says there's only 8% of us Israelites at the school. It's all Edomites. They threatened him, smashed his phone, and tried to take his book bag. See? And they won't let you know all that. But they wanna off your kids, bro. Advice says there will be no they will have no, let me get that. What's that? They show no regard for the young or the old. They don't care about your kids. They don't care about no youngin or an old man. They don't give a damn. You feel me? That's just letting you know. When you get a chance, go look at them comments, what them Edomites is saying. But we're gonna go from the beginning. Let's get into some scripts real quick, man, to understand this thing a little bit more. Because why is it always black and white? Jacob versus Esau. It's always. But we're gonna get to the beginning. We're gonna go back to Genesis. We're gonna go to the beginning. Genesis 3:1. Let me start at 1:1. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which the Lord God had made. And he said unto the woman, Yea, have God said ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden? So I just want that serpent part. Because what we're gonna let you know, Esau is that serpent, that old serpent. He has that same spirit, in him. Watch this. We're gonna jump to 15. Genesis 3:15. And I will put enmity. We're gonna get the definition of that word, this word right here. What does this word mean? Enmity. I already got it pulled up for y'all. Enmity. The state or feeling of being actively opposed or hostile to someone or something, right? Some similar animosity, feud, conflict, rivalry, friction, discord, contention, dislike, bad blood, bad feeling, ill feeling, hatred. So now let's go back to those scripture. We're gonna learn some things unto learning some things. And I will put enmity, which we can replace hatred, hostility. What else it say? Feud, rivalry. So I will put a rivalry between thee. Who's the three? Who's the thee? Let's go to verse 14 and get who the thee is. And the Lord God said unto the serpent. So God is talking to the serpent. He's talking to the serpent here. That's all we want. And how come it ain't turning? Okay, he's talking to the serpent. So now the thee is the serpent. So I will put hatred. We're going to replace enmity with hatred. I will put hatred between thee. We're going to change thee to the serpent. We're going to break this thing down. So I will put hatred between the serpent and the woman. So who's the woman? Who's the woman? Now we're going to come right back to here. Hold on. First, I'm going to go to Hosea. The book of Genesis and Revelation. You got to break them down. Where the hell is Hosea? Watch this. The book of Hosea, chapter 12 and verse 10. I have also spoken by the prophets, and I have multiplied visions. I have used similitudes by the ministry of the prophets. So the Most High uses similitudes. You got to break this down. Similitude is like comparing one thing to another, right? So Genesis is a similitude. That's a similitude. So the woman, is it talking about just a regular woman? No, we got a precept upon precept. Watch this. We're going to go to the book of Jeremiah in 6 and 2. I have likened the daughter of Zion, Zion's talking about the nation Israel, to a comely and delicate woman. I have likened the daughter of Zion to a comely and delicate woman. So when we go back to Genesis, now we got some context. We breaking it down. Where we at? 3 and 15. So, and I will put hatred, enmity between thee, the serpent, and the woman, which is the nation of Israel. So now you got the serpent seed in the nation of Israel. Well, look, and it said that, and between thy seed, so, and her seed. So between your evil demon Satan seed, this is before they're even the Edomites. This is a future prophecy. It's before they're the Edomites. In between thy seed and her seed, and it shall bruise thy head. And this is talking about Christ. They bruised our head. Let me just get that real quick. I wasn't even going to get that, but we're going to do it real quick. The book of Isaiah 53 in verse, 5. But he was wounded for our transgression. It's talking about Yahushua. He was bruised for our iniquities. Precept upon precepts. The chastisement of our peace was upon him, and his stripes and with his stripes we are healed. So he was bruised. That's what it's talking about when it says they shall bruise our head, right? They bruised our head, which is Christ, the Black Messiah. Now when we go back, Genesis 3:15. And I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed. It shall bruise thy head. So we know what that's talking about. And thou shalt bruise his heel. Let's get what that's talking about real quick. Let's go to when did that happen? The heel part. 25. We're just gonna get straight to it, man. 25, I believe 26. Jacob and Esau wrestled. Look, matter of fact, they was wrestling. Jacob and Esau was fighting in the womb. Esau was getting beat up in the womb. He was getting beat by Jacob in the womb. So this is what we're reading, the enmity played out right here. But the part we was talking about the heel. And after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold of Esau's heel. And his name was called Jacob. And Isaac was 80 years old when he buried him. So as you can see, As you can see now, this is the beginning. And look how it says in verse 1. It says, now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field. That we know it's talking about nations of people, right? And that serpent, the spirit in that serpent was different than anybody else. Just like today, the white man, the Edomites, they're different than any other race. They are more slicker than the rest of the heathens, right? They're more devious. That's why in the book of Maccabees it says when they came into power, it says evils multiply. It was already evil. The Persians, before the Greeks took over, they took over the Persian and Medes. It was evil already, but it says when they came, it says evils multiplied. It got way more wickeder. So and it says, we're back in verse 15. I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed, and it shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel. So all the way back in time, this is when it was it was conceived right here. When the Most High programmed us to not mix. And then let's go to chapter 4. And we seen it play out with old boy Cain. We seen him play out with Cain, Genesis 4 and 8. And Cain talked with Abel, his brother. And it came to pass when they were in the field that Cain rose up against Abel, his brother, and slew him. Right? Then Cain, this is, Cain, he went to the Satan side, right? Where it says that on here, when he went to the east. Let me see. Because this is when that, the Esau is really Cain. Then he got hit with that mark. He got cursed from the ground. That's why they can't stand in the sun. They got that little white pigmentation. And then look, let me read 24. If Cain, no, let's go to 15. I want this real quick. And the Lord said unto him, therefore, whosoever slayeth Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold. And the Lord set a mark upon Cain, lest any man finding him should kill him. So he said, vengeance shall be on him sevenfold. And he put a mark on him, right? And it says they are cursed from the ground. That's why they're the only nation that don't have that burning sun, don't have no pigmentation. 24. If Cain shall be avenged sevenfold, truly Lamech sevenfold, and 70 and sevenfold. Because you know about the Edomites. See how they want the death penalty for supposedly, allegedly knocking off one of theirs? They go the extreme on a little boy, 17-year-old, no record. You see how 9/11 happened. What they do, they bomb and bomb and bomb and bomb. With that whole little Gaza stuff that's going on, they flatten Gaza, right? They go overboard because they're these people right here. They say do anything to us, we're gonna go overboard, overkill. You see how they about Lake Lanier? A white woman supposedly got violated. They drowned the city, knocked off a whole bunch of us, and drowned the city. Lake Lanier, look that up. I was watching some of that earlier today. Lake Lanier. And then you got Tulsa, Oklahoma, Black Wall Street, Rosewood. They always go overboard because they're these folks. The people came, right? Let me get 1 John. I'm gonna check the chat real quick. So I love my chat. What I want, 1 John 3. 1 John 3:12. Not as Cain, who was of that wicked one. See, he was of that wicked one, that serpent seed, right? And slew his brother, and wherefore, and then look, why did he slew him? Why did he slay his brother? And wherefore slew he him? Because his own works was evil and his brother's righteous. So he was mad at, because he was off. Let me get Genesis 27 real quick. Now I'm gonna check my chat. 27:41. Look at this. So we're just going back, getting some history in the beginning on why it's always us versus them. It seems like, are you tripping, or is it something in the spiritual realm? Because we filter everything through the Bible. Look at what Esau said. Genesis 27, verse 41. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. So now you know why. If we ask the question, why do these people hate us so much? Now you know. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing, because they're mad because we're blessed, because the God, the Father of the universe, heaven and earth, has blessed us with beautiful, we're the most, with the sauce. Basically, because we got the sauce. Their forefather gave up the birthright. They didn't know what it meant. They didn't know what it meant. That it means you have the God of heaven and earth on your side. Yasharallah, Prince of the power with God. That's what that means. So they're very carnal. They're cursed. They burn up in the sun. Their hair is dead. They got dog hair. We got lovely, beautiful hair. We could do many styles with it. We do everything the best. Everything. Cook the best. Look the best. When it comes to sports, we're the best. When it comes anything, we're the best. So it says, because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, see, the Most High, he's letting us know something. What this man said inside him. He says, the days of mourning for my father are at hand. He said, when Isaac goes, he said, then I will slay. Then I will slay my brother Jacob. And they've been doing that ever since. Right? They've been doing it ever since. It's just so happened with this situation, they got jugged up. And they don't know how to act, boy. They don't know how to act. They don't know how to act. Yes, indeed. We are stronger, seasoned, holy, and blessed. Straight like that. The more Esau, let me see, hold on. What she said? The more Esau hates the people of Israel, the stronger the few that are chosen of Israel gets. For real. So we seen why they hate us, right? So the story, as we can see, we've been fighting with them since the womb. It goes way back. Like when I was in the world, that's what confused. That's the only thing when I came into the truth, what was light bulb, because I knew Edomites was evil, but I didn't know every single one of them was. Every single one. I think that's the kicker, because you might think your neighbor's cool, your co-worker's cool, but the Bible say, like iron rust. Let me get that on my phone real quick. Like iron rust. Oh, let me see if cause I don't know if I got the Apocrypha on here. I'm just gonna read it right here. Ecclesiasticus, Sirach 12:10. Never trust thy enemy, for like as iron rust, so is his wickedness. So it says like iron rust. So what does that mean? That means they will, if you know anything about iron, it changes depending on the elements, depending on the weather. So it may so let's say Sister Danielle, she got some iron at her house. I got some at my house. Depending, my iron might rust faster than hers. But one thing we know what's gonna happen is gonna rust. What do you say? Nust waiting for PS 137. Can't wait for Psalms 31:37. Hey, I know that's right, brother. You and me both, brother. Shout out to Joshua. But yeah, so like that iron will rust. So it's saying that Edomite, he will turn on you, depending on the elements or what's said or whatever. He will turn on you. Like not Malcolm X, Muhammad Ali said. He said, why should you trust or a snake? Why should you wait and see or something and see if the snake is poisonous? You know, you see all snakes down there. I'm not about to be like and play with the snake, see which one is poisonous, right? Hold on, my brother. Oh, I think Salakia, my fault, brother. I think I did call you a woman. I'm a man. The name Kahanya just means in the English language, amen, Lord. So the name Kahanya. All right, my fault. Mighty brother. Mighty brother. But yeah, never trust our enemy. So, your best bet is to just, we around them, do your business with them and get on. That's what our brother Carmelo, if he was taught, I'm quite sure, his family probably telling him watch out for them. But if he knew biblically, like, all of them, be wary. You just like how you would respect the snake. You see a snake slithering by, you're gonna be like, hold on, hey, we gotta keep our eye on that snake. Let's watch out. That's how you gotta do them. I don't prefer them. Doctors, I was on the phone with the insurance company, car insurance. I could tell the lady clicked me over to Edomite. I just felt that she was trying to get me, bro. She was trying to, up my policy every way she could. So I'm just like, this is an Edomite. They always up to no good, man. You gotta watch me. So I don't prefer them. If I can, I'm gonna get me a brother, or or like it says, they're the most subtle beast of the field. I'll take a lesser heathen, another heathen, a Hamite or a Moabite or something over a damn Edomite, because they be trying to get you. I feel like my freedom done line talking to her. She said, she said, we're in a recorded line. I'm like, yes, I do know that. My answer still don't change. What the hell? We're on a recorded line. A lot of our people don't know who the enemy is. Exactly. That's why they need to learn this, so we could start keeping our eyes on them and know. Just like I had this talk with this brother the other day. He be always trying to debate me about Edomite. He always trying to twist and turn, and he always got these scenarios on how Edomite. What about this? What if a white person saves you, gave you CPR, would you accept? He always got weird stories like that. So he was coming up with a story. He talking about, G-Bar, I had my family. He said, I think he was lying too, but he said the Edomite neighbor helped his dad with a down payment on the house. That's what he said. So I was like, okay. I said, okay. As an individual, they helped you out. They like you. They like your pops, bro. They like pops, but that still don't defeat like Iron Rush. Let your pop say one word, Jesus is black. They're gonna stick it to pops, and you gotta check your spirit if the Edomites be liking you, because there's something you probably cooning, bro. And that's only, and it's what the story of Esther is so heavy on what Mordecai told Esther, because Esther, remember, she could pass as a heathen, right? She could pass as a heathen, and she wasn't trying to help the Jews, us. She wasn't trying to help us. And Mordecai had to remind her. He said, look, I think that was his niece. Look, niece. He said, after they knock us all off, they're going to find out you're one of us. And they're going to knock you off too. That's what every coon don't realize. They think they could live happily ever after. They think we're the problem. Us so-called field Negroes is the problem. They think, oh yeah, your guys the problem. Massa been good to me. You're the problem. You just guys need to shut your mouth and keep on picking the cotton. Eyes. I'm in the big house, But they don't understand, bro. Once they knock us field Negroes out completely, they're gonna get you. You're next. So you might as well come over here with us, right? They always trying to save Esau. Always trying to save Esau. This brother literally every day, my coworker, every day he stumbled over to me. Q-Boy, what about this? All these odd ass stories, twists and turns and twists. I'm like, bro, you are crap. I like him though, because he be keeping me sharp though, keep me up my toes though. He be keeping me up my toes, covering some crazy stuff. I be like, this brother, he keep me on my toe. I feel like, the Most High, while we're at the plantation, Most High, he let me sharpen my little, sword in that brother, It says they will crucify Israelite men quickly because we carry the seed. You already know. Hey, we can get that back in Exodus. Get that in Exodus. I think that's 1. It's Passover season 2. You already know. Passover. Where's that at? Exodus 1. He said, "Do the office of a midwife." Let me get that real quick. I'm gonna get what bro just said. Hold on. I'm gonna get what bro just said about they want to execute us with the seed. Let's get that. We're gonna learn some things until learning some things. Let's go to ones. It's somewhere up in here. And he said, I'm gonna start 16. He said, when you do the office of midwife, yep, this is what I want. Oh, shoot from the hip. See, shoot from the hip. It says, when he said, when ye do the office of a midwife to the Hebrew women and see them upon the stools, if it be a son, then ye shall kill him. But if it be a daughter, then she shall live. See, they've been that's crafty counsel, Egypt, and we're in spiritual Egypt right now. So they've been trying to do that, been trying to knock us brothers off, right? Can you wipe off the brother? You wipe off the nation. You feel me? Khan, that's what I hear when the coons speak. Does the Bible really say love your enemy? Yeah, it's talking about love the enemy of your people, though. It's talking about love the enemy of your people. See, they try to use that. It says love the enemy of your people. Like if I got a beef with you, Queen Glam, it's talking about. Let's get that real quick. Let me see. Love the enemy of your people. Matthew 4, Matthew 5. But yeah, so let's break it down real quick. Did the Bible really say love your enemy? Yes, it does. But they be taking stuff out of context. Let me get that. By saying to you, love your enemies. So, hold on. Hold on real quick, y'all. right, let's share the screen. Let's go to Matthew about loving your enemy. We're going to break it down real quick and get back to the story. Matthew 5:44. It's Yahushua speaking. By saying to you, right here, by saying to you, love your enemies, bless them that curse you, do good to them that hate you, and pray for them which despitefully use you and persecute you. Let me show you. So it's talking about the enemy of your people. Where did Christ get that from? He taught from the Torah, right? Let's go to Exodus 23 in verse 4. If thou meet thy enemy's ox or his ass going astray, thou shalt surely bring it back again. If thou see the ass of him that hate thee, see, lying under his burden, and wouldest forbear to help him, thou shalt surely help him. So basically it's saying, like, say for instance, Queen, if I hated your guts, and I seen you on the side of the road with a flat tire, it's saying pull over, help you out, and then get going. That's all it's saying. You know, it's not talking about, it's talking about the enemy of your people. Let me get Leviticus 19. I think it's 17. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thy heart. Thou shalt anywise rebuke thy neighbor, and not suffer sin upon him. Thou shalt not avenge nor bear a grudge against the children of thy people, but thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. I am the Lord. Is that the part I wanted? It's sort of like calling blah, 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 blah. Well, basically, let me see. Neither should thou go up and it's talking about the enemy of your people. Right? It's talking about the enemy of thy people. Let me get one more. I think I want Micah. Have become an enemy. Okay, let me get Micah 2:8 real quick. The book of Micah, chapter 2 and verse 8. Even of late, look, even of late, my people has risen up as an enemy. Even of late, my people have risen up as an enemy. Ye pull off the robe with the garment from them that pass by securely as men averse from war. So it says lately, it says my people are the enemy, right? Let me get one more from you. 1 Samuel 24:16. So it's just talking about the enemy of your people. Watch this. 1 Samuel 24. It's David and Saul. And it came to pass when David had made an end of speaking these words unto Saul, that Saul said, is this thy voice, my son David? And Saul lifted up his voice and wept. Is this the part that I want? Hold on. And he said to David, thou art more righteous than I, for thou hast rewarded me good, whereas I rewarded thee evil. I don't think this is what I want. I think I read that wrong. 1 Samuel 18:28. Hold on. Salakia. We could use that, but I want one more cut and dry. I like to just get to the point. Man, hold on. Hold on, y'all. Oh, 1829. 1 Samuel 18, verse 29. And Saul was yet the more afraid of David, and Saul became David's enemy continually. Then if you know anything about David, you see how he turned the other cheek for Saul. He didn't knock him off. And David was a man after the Most High's own heart. So that's all. So it's talking about the enemy of your people. You know, that's how you stop black on black crime right there. You feel me? Hold on. White loving nigga. He called him a white loving nigga. What's that nigga on that? What do you say? Who's the nigga on that Hoff syndrome like Django? Yeah, who's that nigga on that ad? Yeah, exactly. Oh, okay, thank you. I was wondering about that. Yeah, don't let them trick you. I say, see, these Christian, they'll try to say you gotta love your neighbor. No, it's talking about the neighbor of your people, man. They'll try to use that. They ain't using that with our brother Carmelo. You know, trying to give the brother the death penalty, or they're talking about that. You know, they will love. You know, like that's just killed me. And you know what else I was thinking? I was thinking about Dred Scott. If you guys know about because they feel like the Edomite had the right, like you guys wrote, he broke his phone. He went up there. He, checking them. Like you said, it was like some 1963 Montgomery, Alabama. Get up out your seat, Rosa Parks. All that's out the window because they feel like he could do that. Because they look at you as a damn slave. You don't got no rights. So I was looking at, I don't know if you guys know anything about Dred Scott. About the, I was looking at, it reminded me of that. Dred Scott. Because he had, look, I'm going to get it real quick, the story. Dred Scott. So, Dred Scott. Who was Dred Scott? Dred Scott versus Sanford. So in the 1857 case, Dred Scott versus Sanford, the Supreme Court ruled that enslaved people, Dred Scott and his family had no right to sue. Because Dred Scott, he was suing, right? He was suing. I kind of want to get the story. Hold on, damn. I'm just gonna give you a summary. Dred Scott, he was a slave he took his case to the Supreme Court, right? And he was suing some Edomites. And it says, and watch what the judge told him. Dred Scott and his family had no right to sue for freedom based on their time. Hold on. Okay, had no right to sue for freedom based on their time in free territories. The court denied Scott's citizenship and constitutional protections, stating that slaves were property and lacked standing in federal court. The decision also declared the Missouri Compromise unconstitutional, as it violated slaveholder property rights. So basically, it said, nigga, you can't sue us. You are a slave. That white boy, that Edomite's looking at that. They don't care what the hell he did. He grabbed his phone. The tent. They don't care. They feel like we can check you or stop and frisk you, ask you any question at any time we want, and we're not wrong. That's how their mentality is. That's how it still is. That's how it's always be. You feel me? That's how they rocking. That's how they rocking. Hold on. I just wanted. I'm not holy past my New Year. Holy at the same time. Conscious never. Yes, my sister. When Yahushua said, "Love your enemies," hold on, bro, just broke it down for you. When Yahushua said, "Love your enemies," it just means our enemy, the people, to hell with Esau and other miscellaneous races. Con. He didn't even know he killed them. Right. He wasn't trying to knock him off. He was saying he's all right. He just trying to go back up off me. Like they said bro was only 130 pounds. Them guys was 200 plus pounds. Just two of them. Known bullies, Edomites in Texas. You know, it's crazy. He didn't even know he killed him. He stuck him and ran. I heard it was even a knife. Come, Christianity. Right. So, you know, they feel like we don't got no rights. When it comes to us, there ain't no self-defense. They create a system to give the illusion of inclusion. They created a system to give the illusion of inclusion. And when it comes to us, we have no self-defense. We get no self-defense when it comes to us, right? You got to have the complexion for the protection. And hey, that's the name of the game. Oh, mom's having me happy Sabbath, happy Sabbath. Happy Sabbath. So let me get some more script. Let's get some more holy scripture. Hold on, let's see what Grace, Grace always got some good to say. What Grace say? Grace, you always got something good to say. I highly doubt they politely asked the young man to move. Hey, yeah, you know what about that too? If you look at the little interviews, his little twin wicked brother was like, he said he talking about what his brother said, said some things. Boy, what did he say? And then Pops, the dad, he said, some things to say, I'm not gonna get into all that. But you're saying every other thing. That's how you know you're a snake, bro. Because how come if you're just being fair, your little white angels, you would just say, what happened? My son called him a nigger. My son said, you nigger, move from the tent. So, just be honest, bro. I'll show you. Me and my brother are gonna beat your nigger behind. He could just say, me and my brother. He could say, my son. They get beside yourself, the kids. He said, you're gonna beat your nigger behind, but that still doesn't make it right for my little cracker son to die. He just said that. They go, okay, but they want to make it seem like he didn't say nothing. Oh, no, they're not trying to say what he said, and he was saying something crazy, bro, right. They used to hard R when he told him to move, I imagine, right. And they thought it was going to be another rodeo, they thought it was going to be another rodeo, like, the track meet wasn't even. So let me get into these scripts real quick. I'm going to show you how we've been beating them, how they've been. We show how Esau said, "Oh, when I'm gonna unalive Jacob." I think I'm gonna go to how they try to do baby Christ because they don't care about our age. They don't care about our age. Watch this. Book of Matthew. 17-year-old, if you guys, when you guys get a chance, if you haven't already, look at them comments on either your Facebook, Instagram, on the YouTube stories, wherever, TikTok, whatever. These guys is talking trash. Matter of fact, I'm gonna see if we can find some right after this. These guys is talking trash. Matthew 2 and verse 3. When Herod the king had heard these things, that's a part I want to start at. Yeah, we're gonna just. Okay, when Herod the king had heard these things, he was troubled. He was troubled about baby Jesus. Why are they troubled? If Jesus coming to save the whole world, Why would you be troubled? You feel me? And all Jerusalem with him. And when he had gathered all the chief priests and scribes of the people together, he demanded of them where Christ should be born. He's panicking. He's like, where is this little nigger at? Verse 5. And they said unto him, in Bethlehem of Judea, for this is written. This is, oh, you see, they're trying to stop the word, little gnat trying to stop the word. See, they sanctioned little gnats. For this is written by the prophet, right? Let's jump to verse 8. Let's jump through this second time. And he sent, so look, so they're looking for baby Jesus, this little Edomite. Herod was Edomite, the devil, looking for baby Christ, a little baby. And he sent them to Bethlehem and said, go, in verse 8, and go and search diligently for the young child. And when ye have found him, bring me word again that I may come and worship him. See how they lie? He said, bring him to me so I can worship him too. When in verse 3, it said he was troubled. Verse 3, it says he was troubled. But yeah, he said he was troubled. But this verse, he's talking about, oh yeah, bring him so I can worship him too. He really like, I'm gonna gut that little nigger, right? Because that's all Esau do. They lie. They lie. He said they're the father of lies. They're the father of lies. Go 13. And when they were departed, behold, the angel of the Lord appeared to Joseph in a dream, saying, arise and take the young child and his mother and flee into Egypt, and be thou there until I bring thee word. For Herod will seek the young child to destroy him. But he said, I want to worship him right here. But he's trying to kill baby Jesus. That's a cut on how you know it wasn't for everybody. Because why would you want to knock him off if he's coming to save the world? He's coming to save the world of the Jews. Right? Let's go to Revelation real quick. The last book of the Bible. Revelation 12:4. And his tail drew the third part of the stars of heaven and did cast into the earth. And the dragon stood before the woman. Remember that woman we read earlier? The woman is who? Zion. Jeremiah 6:2, which was raised to be delivered, for to devour her child as soon as it was born. That's talking about Herod. That happened. That's what he was trying to do, right? And let me see something real quick. On a great dragon, blah, blah, blah. Let's go to verse 10. Let's go to verse 10. I want to show you something. And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now has come salvation and strength in the kingdom of our God and the power of his Christ. For this is a part I want right here. Highlight this part. Highlight this part. For the accuser of our brethren. Now, who the hell is that? The accuser. Who's they accusing us? Right? They're trying to say our brother is premeditated murder and give him the death penalty. And they wanna run up in that cell. They wanna run up in that cell. Man, get this damn Edomite off my damn thing. How do you exit this shit? I don't want to mess that. I might click. But anyways, they really want to run up in that cell like they used to do and drag them out, hang them up, shoot them up, cut his testicles off, have a bonfire, barbecue. That's what they really want to do. But look, for the accuser of our brethren is cast down. We can't wait till that day. Kwame Yasharala, Kwame Yasharala. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our God day and night. That's talking about the demon that's in them is up there. Like how they did Job, right? Let me go to Job real quick. Like how Job was, Job was up there funking. Look, we're going to go back. I think it's Job 1:6. Now, there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord. And Satan, and who? And Satan, and who? And Satan came also among them. And the Lord said unto Satan, whence comest thou? Then Satan answered the Lord and said, from going to and fro in the earth and from walking up and down. So Satan inhabited, these are the children of Satan. These are the children of Satan. And they go up there and accuse, be like, oh, he did this, he did that. And you can see it manifest through them today, through them comments. We're going to go through we're going to get the comments, y'all. We're going to get the comments. In this, the child of our God are manifest. And the children, the children of the devil. They're the children of the devil. See, they'll tell you this in church, that they're children of the devil. Whosoever doeth not righteousness is not of God, neither he that love not his brother. See, that goes back to Cain. It goes back to Esau and Jacob, their brother, but they got cut off. They're hating, they're mad because we got the blessing, all this stuff. This is one big, beautiful story. See, you guys got the Most High shooting a big, beautiful story where the main characters is white versus black, Jacob versus Esau, and it looked like we're gonna lose, but we're gonna come out on top. This is a beautiful story. They're the children of the devil. That seed, remember that seed. That seed. That serpent seed. Let's go back to Revelation and where were we at? What was that 12? Look, 12 and 10. We already got it highlighted. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down. They'll never tell you this in them churches. The accuser of your brothers in the last book of the Bible. Future prophecy. What is this talking about, Mr. Pastor? The accuser of our brethren is cast down, right? Which accused them before our God day and night. Let me check my cheetah. God for the young man defend himself. It was raining. He was trying to stay dry in his phone before they approached him and told him to move. Right. I couldn't look at the comments. Esau going in and horrible people that hang. I couldn't look at the comments. Esau going in and horrible people that hang us for no reason. If they could, they would hang him. If this was the 40s, they would have hung this young man. Hell yeah, they would have. They would have broken in jail. The sheriff, they would have accidentally, oh yeah, we left the gate open. We couldn't stop them. The mob overran overran and they got him. We gotta pray for the young brother that he's safe, man, because they still might be trying to do some funny stuff. They raised money for him and they were mad when Edom raised money for George. Yeah, they're hypocrites, man. A situation happen like this for the Most High, he's showing you these demons, bro. He's showing you. Hold on, we're gonna try to see some of the comments. Let's go to some of the comments. Let's see. I saw a person who sat in the wrong seat at a movie theater. No, we don't want that. You don't take a knife. Who expects to be knifed in the heart over a seat? Taking a knife to a track meet and purposely sitting under the opposing team's tent. He was definitely looking to cause trouble. Let's see the replies. Austin out. Did you not hear there was a rain delay? What does that have to do with sitting in the wrong tent? Blah, 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 blah. That's not an excuse to end someone's life. Look, now the real story, it wasn't his school. He sat in the opposing team bleacher and he bought a weapon. He said he bought a weapon with him. Look, this dude's cooked in Texas. It's a felony to possess a deadly weapon in school facilities. Use of deadly force requires reasonable and imminent threat of death. In other words, we'll be paying for this idiot to be locked up, jail for decades. Poor dad, my heart goes out for him. If you brought a knife to a track meet, you already planned to cause harm. What are you talking about, bro? These guys is crazy. See how they think? If you click on these guys, these profile, it look like your everyday, Edomite. Why would anyone have a knife at a track meet? Self-defense is defending your life, not defending your shattered pride. Look at this Edomite. This is what happens when people raise their children with a chip on their shoulder. See? Hey, man. They are the goddamn devil. That's why we say the white man, woman, and child is the goddamn devil that the Bible speaks of. Right. Who expects a kid to take a rifle to the school all the ish they do? Yeah, they like to play hopscotch. They like to play hopscotch. Oh, well, what about I got this, man, if I can show you. Kyle Rittenhouse. Like, we're proving hypocrisy. They're hypocrites. They're hypocrites. I don't know if y'all can see this. Yeah, you can see that. So I'm about to read some of this. You guys probably already seen this. Look. So they're both 17 at this. So look, this is basically show how they're hypocrites. So Rittenhouse, in a town he wasn't a resident of, protesting. So this is Anthony now. At a track meet he was supposed to be at. Rittenhouse was 17 carrying a gun, federally outlawed until age 18. Anthony, age 17, carrying a knife. Hold on. Rittenhouse was attacked after warning attackers he would shoot. Anthony was attacked after warning attackers he would defend himself. Rittenhouse knocked off 2 people and injured 1. Anthony knocked off 1. Rittenhouse raised 500,086. No, damn, hold on. 500. He basically raised $500,000 from conservatives for legal defense. Anthony, conservatives want legal defense fund shut down or legally garnished. So they want the money he raised to be shut down or garnished. So Rittenhouse, acquitted self-defense. Anthony, conservatives want heaviest legal sentence. So they want our brother, they want the death penalty. But the other dude, Rittenhouse, is a hero. He had a rifle. He knocked off 2 people. Exactly. There are lots of raccoons defending this. They just want to be accepted. They just want to be accepted by the pale faces. They just want to be accepted. Master, did I do it right, Master? You see me over there tap dancing for you, Master? That's what they, Master. Do you see me over there tap dancing? I condemn that boy. I condemn my own master. Master, did you see me? Did that boy kill some black people? Nah, I think you talking about Rittenhouse? I think he knocked off some let's see. I think he knocked off some Edomites, though. Let me see. Let's see. Rittenhouse's victims. Rittenhouse victims. Yeah, I think he killed some Edomites. They think it's these guys right here. I think he knocked off 2 of them and injured 1. So yeah, it's some Edomites. Oh, if it was one they really wouldn't have gave a damn. It would have been open shot. It was self-defense. Scared for his life. Self-defense. Let me get another script, man. I'm almost done, man. I'm almost done, y'all. Then we're gonna do our final thoughts. Habakkuk 2 and 4. This is what you gotta know. Habakkuk 2 and 4. This is what you gotta know. Well, I'm gonna tell you, I got a story for y'all too. So look, Habakkuk 2 and 4. Behold, his soul, talking about the so-called white man, woman, and child, which is lifted up, is not upright in him. So it says his soul is not upright. It said his soul is not upright. He's crooked. He was made crooked. That's why I was trying to look. So I was over at my family member's house, elder, and she was telling me this story about how long story short, she was telling me a story how she this lady got $750 stolen out of her wallet or something at the pharmacy or something like that, right? She was like, yeah, so the lady, she needed some money. I don't think she gave her some money, but look, she was like, so, I gave her my number and I told her, I could help her in other ways and all this other stuff, right? So I wanted to ask, like, what was the race? But she ended up saying, it was a little old white lady. And she seen my face. I'm like, you up here helping this little old, she said, that little old white lady. And she said, what? They have souls too. So I was thinking of that Habakkuk 2 and 4. I'm like, yeah, they got souls. Yeah, you damn right they got souls, but their soul ain't upright. And it remind me of, like, if you see a kid, how you see a kid petting a snake, how they don't know no better. That's a snake, or like it's a crazy animal. Like sometimes you see a kid, they'll grab a fox tail or something. You're like, oh, pretty fox, or pretty like some crazy type of animal. So that's why I'm looking at her. I'm like, you're over here petting this damn snake, and the snake is coiling around you, and you don't see it coming, and it backs up and it's about to attack, but you don't think it's about to attack you. So, all I can say, like, man, you keep pretty. Hey, what they say? You pity the snake charmer. You're going to get bit, because she was like, it's a little old white lady. You're checking in with her. White lady probably lying about even getting her $700 stolen, and she probably thought you was going to reimburse her, or help her out, if not with some of it, but not with all of it, some of it, But I'm just like, now I just came to see how you was doing. I ain't even gonna talk, biblically to you that the white man, one of child, got them devil the Bible speaks of, man. And some people gotta learn the hard way. Some people gotta learn the hard way. Hold on. Final thoughts. See, we got the final thoughts up there, man. But Kyle went to protest with a rifle. Thank you. I love your channel. All praise. Appreciate you too, Glam, Queen Glam. Appreciate you too for, I love all y'all. You guys like my fam. You guys are my fam. Not like my fam. You are my fam. Final thoughts for me. All praise. End of the day, we win. Oh yeah, that's just what I was thinking. At the end of the day, we win, and they know that. You always gotta keep that in mind. That's what keep me rolling. That we know we win and in. If you didn't know we win, hey, this would be some story. We would be going crazy. You like, man, we getting our asses whooped every day, man. You feel me? But we win. Repent, keep the commandments, and endure to the end. Straight like that. The sis said it, and shut the book. Right? And if any of I'm gonna put the thing in the chat. Any of you guys want to come up and express your final thoughts? You could be more than welcome. Or you want to say anything else? It's always up there. G-Bar. This is our channel. This for us. I typed it wrong. What did bro say? He said, I typed it wrong, but Esau is just in their feelings because Yahweh Bashem Yahushai chose Israelite people. Right. Genesis 27 and 41. That's why they have been putting pressure on our people with having money to survival. Yep. Damn Skippy. Hey, it's just proven. It's just proven. I'm gonna make this an hour and a half. So if you got, like I said, if y'all want to come up, you guys want to say anything to the chat, whatever, we're gonna keep it. We're gonna keep rapping. We're gonna keep it going. We're gonna keep it going. We're gonna keep it going. But yeah, so white man, woman, and child is a goddamn devil that the Bible speaks of. They prove it every goddamn day, every day. The Most High is letting you know. He let these situations happen so you can see these horns. You see their goddamn horns come out, right? You see their horns come out. You see them horns come out, sis. Queen Glam, you see them horns and that forked tongue. We just read some comments, and those was actually not that bad. I seen some horrible ones, but they stay doing that. They're the devil. Let me get some script. Let me get another script. I'm trying to go. We're gonna go to an hour and a half, man. We got 13 more minutes, man. What we gonna do, people? What we gonna do? You see how they try to cry? Remember the Rittenhouse tried to cry? That little fake cry he did. They always trying to cry. But you know what? I ain't gonna lie. I'm proud of the community because I seen a lot of people not going for it. Like Grace said, she said we got a lot of coons, but we also got a lot of people that's not having it, and that's busting these saying how how it should be. Oh yeah, Grace, bless you. What you got, Grace, man? Shalom. Grace, you on there, man?
Oh, I'm on here. Okay. Shalom. Happy
Shalom.
Sabbath.
Happy Sabbath.
Um,
My shirt. I keep a script on me. Homie. You gotta keep the script on you.
you got to. No, I'm glad that you talked about this topic. It was really stressful the past few weeks listening to these comments of these Edomites about this young man who I don't know the story and for real the whole story isn't even out there. It's really still confusing about what's happening and the comments from Edomites are wild. Even some of the black people, I understand that maybe the young man probably shouldn't have brought like a knife or something at the school. He shouldn't have killed them. I'm gonna say that's wrong. I get that. However, we don't know the situation of what happened, how the boy said it. He more than likely, it's two of them. They used a hard R and told him to move. It's um it's just wild. So all in all, like I said, we win, and it's just enduring and keeping the commandments because Esau is like they wanted to open that door to about all the stuff that um that the young boy did, and it's like, do you guys really just sit and think about the stuff that you guys have done? Do you really need to open that door? I think you guys might want to be quiet and not open that door to let's talk about what you guys do and all the stuff that you guys have done to us, not to. And then a lot of people said that they didn't want it to be a race thing, but it's always going to be a race thing because at the end of the day it's Jacob versus Esau. That's It's always going to be that situation.
Right. That's why I went back to Genesis, and showed the enmity that the Most High put, in the spiritual realm. In the spiritual, that's how they're programmed. It's gonna always be like what they say, oil and water. You know,
Yeah, yeah,
always, always. We can't live amongst each other. That's how the Most High got it. Fighting in the womb. We was beating him. That's why he came out first and he grabbed his heel. We were beating him out the womb. You know? That's why at the end of the book, Revelation 12, it said the accusers of thy brethren. And it said, it's cast down, you know?
Yeah.
So, it goes back to the beginning all the way to the end. It's gonna be like this till the end, until we put them back in the bottomless pit, put them back in them chains where they belong, and it is what it is. She said they two of twins, 225 pounds. That's two of them. That's like almost 500 pounds, you know.
Yeah,
And
I didn't even see the story. I haven't really, like I said, engaged myself only because there's more white people going in on this topic than anything about, and all their comments are really overpowering all the black people, because a lot of black people are just like, well, yeah, no, he was wrong for bring. Okay, what about you guys bringing guns? What about you guys hanging black people
what's
just
wrong for having
because?
a knife, bro? Like, how did come? Don't even let them. Like, man, we ain't nothing wrong with having no damn knife, especially you don't know if he catching a bus, walking home, or what.
And they're like, he egged it on because he said, don't touch me. Don't talk to me. Don't touch me. You'll see what happened. Leave me alone. And there's like, used hard R. It's like, there's two
They
of
said he
them.
said that.
Again, like I said, I don't know the full story, because for some reason in the world of social media where everybody has a phone, there is no video to be found of this situation. And I that's like a group of teenagers at a game, and there's no video. Nobody decided to bring out their phone. No one over there. Like, so there's no like real recap of what happens to fully just get a real detail of the situation.
So Queen Glam she said yes. They said they used a hard R and kept using it. Nigger, 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 move. See,
Like, nigger, what are you doing under a tent? Move. Like,
yeah.
I just imagine.
And he probably was like, "Hey, back up." 'Cause, that's what I'm saying. It's crazy. So hopefully, the brother. I don't know. Let me see what this brother said. They tried to snatch him up. They said they tried to snatch him up. It's like men are the leader. Yeah.
And
You know,
he comes from a good family. I mean, I don't know. He has a mother and father in the home. I seen he has so he's just on the equalist par of
and
the
they
Edomite.
they're on they're the twins. They're divorced. Their family's
Oh,
divorced. He
I
come
don't
from
even know.
Yeah, they're divorced. They got two different not cash app, but GoFundMe's, you know, and that his twin is up here trying to, fake cry and say, oh, my brother died in my
In
arms.
my arms.
He was my sweet angel brother.
He seen the life leave his body. And I'm like, whatever.
But my final thoughts is one less devil on the streets.
All praises, yes.
My thoughts is one less devil on the streets. And he lucky my brother didn't have that thing on him. You feel me? Like a little knife. Come on, bro. You know how these Edomites is. These Edomites, they're disrespectful. These are my final thoughts. I was kept it calm in the I was like I listened to both sides. Even though we didn't hear our brother's side, but I'm just talking me as Gabar. My final thoughts. The hell with him. And there's one less devil on the streets. And the only thing he should have knocked off the other twin. Sorry, playing. I'll be playing. I play. We
No.
don't condone violence. We don't condone violence. But my brother he had to defend himself though. He
And
said
like
he's
he
gonna
said,
say.
these are they're teenagers, they're kids. I mean, you have to go on the psychological stuff of everything, the breakdown of this situation, of the mental state of this young man, what he's going through. Is it an all white school? Is the school diverse? What things has he come up against them being there? Has he experienced this before? Then I mean, there's just so much psychological stuff that you can go into what was going through this young man's head, that he felt that he really had to defend your life. Because at the end of the day, if someone comes and bucks up to you, it's your life on the line. We don't know what he said, and he felt he had to defend his life to the fullest, and that's what he did. He had to protect himself. Just like I tell my son, if someone comes at you, defend your life, protect yourself to the full extent that this person's trying to take you out. And he just won.
Right, and they're mad about that. That they took the short end of the stick this time, and they want the death penalty for this young man. No grace, no mercy, no. They want the death penalty. Like I said, they want to break into the jail.
They would.
They want to do what they call street justice.
If
You
it
know,
was the 1940s, like you said, they would have broke into the prison with a mob. The family
or
would.
they wouldn't have been broke in. They would have let them in. So
No,
after
they would
it was
probably have a
open,
lynching crew outside the man's house
and
and
they
be
would have
like,
knocked off the parents too. I heard the parents is getting death threats though. They
I
said
could imagine them being
they
in
said they're getting,
Texas. Yeah.
they said they're getting death threats. I mean, we have seen this movie before. We
Yeah, it's the same thing.
we seen this movie. We read about it. We read about how they go to the house and they kill. They knock off the dad, the mom. They wipe out the whole family. They burn it, set it on fire. They go get him. Like they're the people of Cain, sevenfold upon sevenfold. You touch one of theirs, they trying to wipe out. They gonna drown the Lake Lanier you.
Yeah.
That's who they are. And the Most High, He letting the man of sin be revealed from their government all the way to the citizens. People always want to say about cops. This don't got nothing to do with cops. This is citizens. These are
Apparently, they wanted to do a
citizens.
White Lives Matter march. I heard.
Really?
I heard they wanted to do a White Lives Matter. White people are just really up in arms about this situation. They're just coming out of the woodwork. Like I said, this is more or less, if they really could get out there, they would hang this young man. And
We gotta put a stop to this. This could be Becky. This could be your son next, Becky. Oh my God, you're right. Yeah, so we got to put a stop to these niggers now. Let's go. Let's march. Let's get any nigger you want. We're gonna make examples out of them. This could be your son, my son, for hell's sake.
niggers
That's
should be in our schools. We're not
right.
safe here. I mean, it's just so much.
That's why
And
we
it's
need
Texas.
that back. We don't want to be next to these dirty monkeys. Hey, bro, what's next to these dirty monkeys? Bring back segregate 101 mascot. What's his name? Austin will still be alive for you guys, right?
Well, tonight the thing about it is he has a mother and a father in the home, and a lot of the coons were like, this is the reason why we got these emotional young men that don't know how to act, and then they do this. And I'm like, really, coon, what makes you, who took the fathers out the home? The same white man that you're defending is who took the father out the home that would have left this young man fatherless. But lo and behold, this isn't a fatherless child. He obviously had a father in the house. He was, and his father probably told him to defend himself and everything like a man should.
Right. He didn't. He wasn't really trying to off him like that because he said he all right. You feel me? He said that to the police. He all right. He gonna be okay. You know, like how they say it was premeditated. Yeah. It wasn't premeditated. He just so happened to catch a fatal blow, man. It is what it is. Like you say, he up around, found out. You know, that's why he thought he was the
If
that.
he's small in stature and everything, and these two bigger boys, you gonna take something and hit them something to defend yourself. That's kind of be like, even if he had pushed them and his head hit the concrete, you just never know. Whenever you're gonna get in a fight, you just never know what's gonna happen.
So did they know each other before this?
Hmm.
Did they know each other before this?
I don't know. Like I said, the story is, I can't get a full grasp of the story. Like, I mean, I need to know if I don't think who was on the track team. Was it a track meet? Like I said, I haven't really been following it that much because no one has the full story. Just like fake reports of the autopsy was coming out. Just they were at a track meet. The people all congregate underneath anybody's tent. It was raining. The the white boy Austin told him to leave out the tent. Again, Austin has no authority to tell somebody to leave from the tent. I guess an argument ensues. They say that he said, don't touch me or you're going to see what's going to happen. But then again, they said that wasn't a true part of the story. Or because he said that, it's kind of like it was premeditated because he's like, yeah, I have, knowingly he has a weapon in his backpack, so he's premeditating the fact that he's going to stab. It's not,
That don't
I
make
don't
no
know.
sense. Just because you have a weapon, that means the Rittenhouse, he went there to do what he had to do. That is a reach, and that's a evil as hell to say. Just because you have a weapon, you have a gun in your car, that means if you end up using it for some reason, oh, you premeditated. That don't even make sense. That's an evil ass statement.
Yeah, a premeditation is, I know Austin's gonna be there. I'm just waiting for Austin to say something to me because the second Austin says something, I'm going to stab Austin. That's what I would say. That would be premeditated and everything like that. Him just so happening because, let's say he just carries it and everything for safety and protection and stuff like that. He has it on him, and it just so happens that, um yeah, I just don't, Queen Glam, if it says they were twins, were on the football players, not track. So if they were football players, with the what's his name, Carmelo, whatever, was he running track or something? Like,
Yeah,
why?
I think he was a track. I think he was a track star, and then
So
so
why are you they even on the field?
right.
So it's just so much in the story that, a lot of people are upset because it's just trying to say it's not racial and everything, but of course we know it is. It may not be a racial thing, but I feel like it's in Texas. If it was anywhere else, I'd probably be like, oh, it's not a racial thing. But because it's in Texas, I'm gonna believe all Texas people are just racist down there. And there's no tolerance. I mean, you've seen the photos with them in their little, what is it, their hunting gear, and then they try to show him with his gun, and then there's just, oh, he's a thug, and there's just the comparisons that they've been trying to make is just kind of infuriating. And that's why for me sometimes I can't just read into that, because there's just more people I see defending the white boy than, and of our people, than the young black boy Carmelo.
Yeah, we're gonna follow the story. We're gonna follow it. And we're gonna see what it do. You know, hopefully, we get all the facts. He get to tell his side.
I pray that young man doesn't have to be put away for his life, the rest of his life, because I don't think he truly meant to do it. I don't, he like you said, he asked if he was okay. He probably was completely unaware. Like, he was probably scared of defending himself, honestly. So I don't know. I wasn't there. No
Right.
one has the full story. So I don't know.
Right. Yeah.
Mm.
Well, you know, with that, man, we done. I'm gonna get ready to wrap it up, man.
Alrighty.
All praise to the Most High. Everybody that came out, we got the story out a little bit. The beginning of the story. We're gonna keep track of it. You know, and yeah. Hopefully the brother. We pray for our little bro. He'd be all right. If it's self defense. But I honestly don't think, like she was saying, like he on like just tried to just because he would have took it out, put it back in. Who else wants some? Nah. They're trying to train our brother to be. We gotta look at that like that's our son, like that's our brother. Like, we gotta look at it like that too. We gotta stick together. We all we got. We can't let them do us that way. You see how they riding for them or for each other. But the brother got his little GoFundMe. Hopefully he gets some. They don't try to garnish shit or do some funny stuff, and he get his a good legal team. But with that, I say shalom, Kwam Yasharala, Kwam Yasharala, Kwam Yasharala. Ride Israel. Till next time, we're gonna meet again, y'all. All praise to the Most High. All right, Queen Glam, appreciate you.